what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel about nothing, but it's about something. So today I'm gonna dive right in, and I'm going on a rant, and I'm gonna try to keep it short, but not really. Anyway, as many of you know, and some of you might not know, Jayland Walker of Akron, Ohio, 25-year-old black man, was being chased by the police. Chased now, without a gun, and was shot at 90 times, and was hit with over 60 bullets. We know what the regular racists will say. What was he doing? Blah, blah, blah. As if anybody deserves to be shot 60 times. You don't put a wild dog down, and I'm not comparing him to a dog, but y'all would shoot a dog 60 times. But a black man, yeah, he can get it 60 times. Why not? His life doesn't matter. And the crazy thing about it is, like, people are starting to get numb. Well, I'm going to say started. They already are numb to black murders, to black police killing black men. Yeah, it's nothing. They'll watch that, and today eyes is you know, to racists, it's another one gone. But it's bad when black people are starting to feel numb to it. Like that's just part of being in America. Yeah, it's just part of being in America. It's what you deal with when you live here. You got a chance every time you leave a house as a black man to end up getting shot by the police for no reason, you know. But you have school shootings where a person goes in and they shoot children, teachers, entire officers. They go in the store and they kill all these people. Churches, I mean, it goes on. And all these people are apprehended with no gunfire. All these people, non-black, are apprehended with no violence, no gunshot. I've seen certain ones that got arrested, and they even stopped to get them food or drinks, you know, whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying during the arrest, but afterwards, you know, they've been seen on the way to trial or whatever. But it's crazy to me that this has become acceptable. It's the norm. And if you're white, you will never know, and I couldn't explain it to you. The only way you could understand really what I'm saying, if you could be black for a year, because it's going to take you a minute, and it may take somebody to point out the subtle nuances of being black. And the funny thing is that it's not just the police shootings. I mean, that's at the top. That's, you know, I mean, murder is murder. You know, I don't mean to go off subject, but you as a citizen, if somebody is robbing your house and they're going out the window, you are not allowed to shoot that person. If you shoot somebody going out the window, and let's say you put 3 of them in his back, you're going to jail. Without the right attorney or unless the judge is just in your favor, you're going to jail because they're going to say you weren't in danger. He was fleeing. But if the police chase somebody down that's fleeing and shoot them 60 plus times, it's okay. But when you look, if you were a black man, and I go from the time I was old enough to see these things, you would understand how deep racism goes. I'm gonna hit you with some small facts. I've seen over the years, I can't even count, countless white men will shake another white man's hand and walk away. And I've seen that same white man shake a black man's hand, and as he walks away, he'll wipe his hand on his pants as if that was nasty or that was dirty. You do that type of stuff when it's either dirty, oily, greasy, or you're prejudiced. You get in an elevator with a white woman, she clutches her purse. You go into a Chinese boutique or a Chinese menswear shop or a Chinese store, they will watch you from the time you come in to the time you leave. But the damn store is in a black neighborhood. And, you know, if I dislike a person, it has to be for a reason. I never just looked at somebody and was like, oh, I don't like you. Man, you're a scum of the earth. No. It has to be a reason. If I don't like you, it's something personally you did to me, or I saw you do something foul to somebody else, or your character is just out of line and I just can't deal with you. But to hate a person because the color of their skin is the stupidest shit that I've ever heard of. And I believe racism is taught, just like I believe that all these black men getting killed by police. It's not a coinky-dink. It's not it's separate incidents, but it's not separate incidents. Because if you're doing this often, somehow, some way, shape, or form, you are being trained to know that if I shoot and kill this black man, I'm going to get away with it. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get away with it. So if that's the fact, it's open season on black men. I mean, it's always been like that. I've had officers pull me out of the car, search my car for no reason, and this is the one that they use. Oh, your plates just didn't show up. Huh? Yeah, we put your plate number in the system and it just won't come up, so that's why we stopped you. That's a reason. I mean, what you think, I pulled the plates out of cereal box? So once you pull me over, you ask for license and registration and insurance, I give you what you asked for, then you want me to step out the vehicle so you can do a search. But you already have proof that I have insurance, proof that I have a license, proof that I have registration. So if I have registration from the Secretary of State, that means that these plates are real because the plates are on the certificate for the Secretary of State. So you know they real. But that's not good enough for you. What are you going to ask me Sir, do you have any drugs in the car? No. Sir, do you have any weapons in the car? No. Do you have anything on you that's going to poke me? No. So, one time, I think I was like maybe probably about 19. I'm driving. I get stopped. Same old BS. Oh, your plate's not blah, blah, blah. And so we're going to have to ask you to step out the car, this and that. 2 white officers. I get out the car. They put me on the side of the car. Pat me down. Same old, do you have anything that'll poke me? Blah, blah, blah. Like my fat ass looked like a dope fiend at 19. I don't even think I was fat back then. So then, they searching the car. I got an amp in the car. So my amp is connected to my speakers, all that. So the guy asked me, where'd you get this amp from? Shit, my cousin gave it to me. Where'd your cousin get it from? I don't know. This old ass amp. He tries to run the serial number off the amp. Off an old ass amp. So mind you, there was a box in the middle of my console. I'm in a van, and the box had a bunch of wire. It had the black tape, speaker tape, tape up, electric tape, whatever. So within the box, there was like an old steak knife that I use to, cut the wires or whatever. He pulls it out. Do you see this? Do you see this? If I would have saw you, if this knife shining, I could have shot you. I said, damn, we shooting people now for a knife that's in a box full of wires? When I moved, when they finally got done doing their little speeches and all that, because, a lot of these white officers think they better than blacks, think we dumb, whatever the case may be. So they talk to you like you're a fucking idiot, or a dummy. So when they get done, it's a porch full of people over there, and they watching, laughing. And I pulled my hands from the car, and I will never forget this. I was so nervous that I left a sweat handprint on the side of my van. And back then, I was, I guess I was a little militant, but at the same time, I didn't know why I felt this way until I got older and I started seeing that not only is racism something that's taught over time, but also that anger builds up over time. And if you see black men, black women, black children being treated in a certain way. Now, I'm talking about before there was video. We didn't see videos back then when I was growing up. You saw it firsthand. We would go to the party store to go grab pops, chips, or whatever, and you would come outside and the officer would want to search your bag to see if you bought liquor, even when I was young. And it was like, damn, we can't even go get pops and juice without being harassed? So, you see the handshake, the wiping off. You see the racism that you see on TV, what you learned about black history and black enslavement, blacks being colonized. And It ain't enough for you to know that you were slaves at one point. It compiles over the years of seeing this. And I'm pretty sure on the opposite side, they're taught, a lot of white people are taught that a black life does not matter. It does not, a black life, and a white wife, life, a black life and a white life is not equal. That a white life is worth more than a black life. And some people are like, well, I didn't learn that. Well, I wouldn't. Yes, you have. You know why? You know what? It's a subtle thing that sits in. Because if I shoot a black man and there's no consequences, but a white man comes in and shoots up a whole school and he leaves out of that school unscathed and walks out of handcuffs, that right there lets you know what life is worth more. The white life. The black-white life is not worth anything. So, I've seen studies where they took a black child and asked the child, which dial would you like? The white dial or the black dial? And the black child chose the white dial. Because, I mean, it was multiple reasons that the white child is good, the white child is clean. They did the same thing with white children and asked them, which dial do you want? And they chose the white dial. They said the black dial was dirty. Even though it was two brand new dials. That's not something that a child just picks up on their own. It's something that is taught. It's taught in movies. It's taught in cartoons. It's taught in school. And honestly, America has become a country where it's okay to hate you as a black person. And I don't care where you are. You can be in school, you can be at work, or whatever it is. Every place in America tells you that it's okay to hate black people. It's okay to treat black people any kind of way. My job, you had a black guy fill out a position that's been with the company over 10 years. A white guy fills out the application, ain't been with the company not even 2 years. Less qualifications, knows less about the seats. The white guy gets the job. And I truly believe, not only because he's white, because his father also worked for the company. How else can you explain it? What you gonna tell me? I don't like the black guy's attitude. I don't think the black guy's responsible enough. Blah, blah, blah. They'll come up with any type of reason. You go to police shootings, they let you know that black lives don't matter. You go on the news, they'll let you know that black lives don't matter. I can't think of the last president that wanted the black vote that did something for black people. They come in the neighborhood, they come around, and they talk the good game about what we gonna do for black people until they get elected, and nothing gets done. But anytime black people try to uplift themselves, anytime they try to come together, oh, it's a hate movement, oh, it's this movement. But what the fuck have we been going through? Have we been getting hated on? Have we been getting killed? Women raped? They still hanging people out here. So you telling me that I can't love my culture, I can't love my color, my people, and that's considered terrorism or hate? Somebody told me that the Black Lives Matter was a waste of time. They said that Black Lives Matter didn't make sense because it separated black people even more, even though they had already been separated. And the person told me, why would you want to separate yourself as a race when you already got enough problems? Huh? And I was basically told that black people should just get along. In other words, accept it. They don't like you. You know, police are going to kill you. Accept it. Live the best life you can live. That's not what life is about. You don't expect that shit. I mean, you don't accept that. You wouldn't accept if every time you came to work, your boss slapped you in your mouth. You wouldn't say, oh, just accept it. It's part of the job. You wouldn't accept it if every time you came home, your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend had another person in the bed every day. Oh, I'm just going to accept it. You'll be a fool. But I'm not supposed to come together with my people and try to get some resolutions, to try to get some things done, to try to get some things changed. Come on, man. I don't give a damn what I name it. I don't care if I name it We Going Back to Africa. That's crazy to think that people should just tolerate this shit. But on the other end, the sad part about it is a lot of people are tolerating it. A lot of people are just letting it go. And as far as coming together and really making a movement, we're not doing it. We can get up and meet every TikTok challenge. Every TikTok challenge. From the food videos to the dances, all of that. Black people ain't gonna they won't boycott. A fashion designer or a company can come out and flat out say, we racist as hell. We don't like black folks. We don't want y'all wearing our clothes. We don't want you drinking this certain beverage. It wasn't made for y'all. They can design clothes with a noose on it. They can make clothes that got monkeys on it with monkey lips. And we'll still buy it. We can make statements. Then they can make statements about us. We'll still buy it. Make racist commercials. We'll still buy it. And the sad part about it is too is that I got the whistle on. When I was having this one conversation, we got on. I was talking about we don't have leaders today. We don't have a Malcolm X. We don't have a Martin Luther King, and and I'm saying to myself, we don't have a mega. I slipped my name. What I was really gonna say. We don't have those black powerful leaders that stood up and really made an impact. Whether it made it, some of them made an impact because they were martyrs, so it made a bigger impact when they were gone. But at the same time, we don't have those strong leaders, and in the conversation, I brought that up, and I was saying about how, Colin got on one knee, and, who was there to support him? Only a few supported him and did the same thing. And I salute those people that did. But as a whole, black men in the NFL did not come together. They talked about him, all this type of stuff, whatever. But when I'm having the conversation, I was told that was stupid. You don't get on your knee when you at work. You don't, you choose another way to do it. You don't do that and get on your knee at work when you at the job. So whatever you got, you deserve it. So then I was like, well, damn. So what about back, in the day, in the 70s, or the 60s, I believe it was in the 70s, in the Olympics when they raised the fist. And the reply was, you saw what happened to them motherfuckers. It's like, wow. So, if you being murdered, if you got a cousin, I had a cousin that was murdered out at Northland Mall that was put on the ground by security guards, held down. He had on a big puffy coat, couldn't breathe. Kept saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Died. Later on, the security guard, I believe it was one of them, went to jail for murder. Floyd was done the same way. My cousin was killed years before him and didn't make the news nationwide. He made the Channel 247 locally in Detroit, Mackenzie Cochran. So by the time it happened to George Floyd, I had already been through it. My family had already been through it. So for me, for a motherfucker to tell me that I should only protest when it's on my time, what do you mean? If your child was murdered, you only gonna protest when you got on your personal time? Hell no. You gonna protest whenever, however, and you gonna find the biggest way to do it. If your child was missing and the news was at your job, talking about the job, and it's a new job, you gonna try to get to that news reporter and say, look, my son, my daughter, whatever the case may be, can I get 15 minutes? Can I get 5 minutes? But you see murder after murder after murder after murder after murder after murder. But you gonna tell me it's a time and a place to stand up. It's a time and a place to protest. Come on now. Come on now. This ain't about no petty issue. This ain't about no they won't let the black folks move into this neighborhood. They won't let the black people in this store and shop without being followed around the store. No, we talking about murder, motherfucker. Murder. Murdering innocent black boys, black girls, and getting away with it. You had a boy that was walking with a hoodie on with snacks in his hand and was killed by a pedestrian that was being fucking nosy. Was not bothering him. Didn't see him stealing nothing, none of that. You know how many times as a child, 14, 15, we rode bikes in the neighborhoods we didn't live in. We walked through neighborhoods that we didn't live in to get back to the neighborhood we lived in. And it was the same stuff back then. I remember going trick-or-treating one Halloween, getting ready to come back towards the neighborhood. So we had to go through a predominantly white neighborhood, which was Ferndale, Michigan. And I remember getting up to the high school that damn near everybody we grew up with, family, whatever, went to the same high school, walking through the high school parking lot to get back to our neighborhood, Royal Oak Township, 8 Mile in Wyoming, and being stopped by the police talking about Holt right there. So it was probably about 15 of us. You know, you go, if my neighborhood only 8 blocks, of course I'm going to go over to the other neighborhood to go trick-or-treat. We want as much candy as we can. We trick-or-treating just like the white kids is. But we get stopped and say we was smashing pumpkins off people's porches. We was doing this. Oh, all black people look alike. So yeah, y'all look like y'all fit the description. We don't know. It's pitch black outside, but we figure it's y'all. But you telling me that there's a time and a place to protest. And you don't do it at work. As a football player, you don't do it at work. That ain't the place to do it. But it's this mentality that lets you know once again that black lives, black men, black children don't mean shit to a lot of people. Because when you say there's a time and a place, but I can murder you anytime. I can't protest anytime I want to, but I can get murdered anytime I want to. I can be on my way to work, get stopped, get murdered, never had no gun. I could be on my way home from work, get stopped, get murdered, never had no gun. I watched a video the other day, a couple coming from church. And you know what they did when they stopped them? The man asked them, "Are you coming from church?" Which was weird. Did you follow them? And the young man said, "Yes, we are. We just left the church." Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. That's good to know. We're stopping you because you didn't turn the turn signal on back there. And you just went straight and you just made the left without putting on the turn signal. So when he said that, they flipped back to another clip of what the officer's video cam on the dash showed that the young man stopped at the stop sign, put on his blinker, and made the left. They proceeded to ask him, "Do you have any guns in the car, knives, drugs, blah, blah, blah." Pulled him out the car, pulled the wife out the car, pulled the baby out the car. You can fuck with a black man anytime. You can fuck with black people anytime. Kill them, slash them, murder them, whatever you want to do. But you can only protest at a certain time when it's properly correct. Come on, man. Come on, man. But that is the mind state that people have. That's why you have so many people that post videos about this black person murdered, that black person murdered. And it's always some a-holes up under the video. What did he do? Oh, I seen the video. It looked like he had a weapon. Oh, I've been over that street. I've never had problems over there. If you're not black, You will never understand what it is to be black. I can't take this skin off. I can't take this and put it in my pocket when I go in certain areas. I'm black 24/7. And I see racism damn near everywhere. Because once you start opening your eye and you really get to looking, you really get to see how petty this shit is. I mean, honestly, how petty is it to hate a person that you don't even know? And I'll tell you this, every life matters. But if I see a group of people that are being slaughtered in the masses, and that group comes up and says, Brown Lives Matter, I'm not going to be like, that's dumb. Why do you separate yourself? I know why you separating yourself. Y'all trying to stick together because you can get more done in numbers than you can by yourself. I'm not going to say that. I'm like, that's what's up for them. They sticking together. You know, they doing the right thing. They got to stick together. But we live in a society where people look, and I'm not saying everybody, but in this country of America, we are looked down on as black people. And when I say that, I mean from the highest of high to the people that really run this country. And I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about to the richest white man that's making the moves, the group of them or whoever it is that's making these moves and making the shot callers. And I'll tell you how it goes. How I believe it goes. I believe there are the rich that run this country. Then it goes down to, well, I'm going to tell you, this what I'm saying is the lives that don't matter is the poor people and the black people. I'm not going to say the brown people don't get no, Mexicans don't get no harm or Puerto Ricans, whatever. I'm not going to say that because they deal with theirs. Arabic people, Persians, they get theirs. They get stereotyped. But when you watch the news, who do you see dying at alarming rate? Who are the police killing? Who are the banks denying loans to? Who are the banks giving higher interest rates to? I watched a black lady that wanted to sell her home. And she was talking about how people would come interested to the open house. But when they would see her picture of her and her black family, they no longer were interested in the home. Even though they thought the house was beautiful, even though they went on the internet and looked at this house and saw the photos, she, by the end, trying to sell this home, had to remove all signs of her being there, a black person being there, so she could sell this house. Come on now. Black people, we have the power to stop this. We really do. But the sad part is, if it's not a TikTok video, if it's not a trend, If Gucci didn't make it, Prada didn't make it, Bentley, you can't drive it. I just don't see us coming together like that as one big fist. We won't even boycott together. I still see black people going into H&M. Still see black people buying Gucci because Gucci apologized and they hired Dapper Dan. All these different companies that we wear on our back, that we are a slave to, have no love for us. Don't stand with you. I mean, I don't know if it's it was a ploy or if it's just strategy or whatever, but I do like the way Nike stood by Colin. I do like that. I mean, but I think this country as a whole, they don't care about black people. They don't give a damn about us. Like I say, they could murder us just like a fly on the windshield. Fly in your car, just kill it. Kill it and throw it away. Be done with it. Like an ant in your house. Step on it, wipe it up, and be done with it. The solutions that I have, I would say we all have to come together. As many of us as possible. But this ain't no Martin Luther King. This ain't no Malcolm X. So either you're going to maneuver around this. As a black person, you're going to have to duck and dodge racism. Hope a police officer don't pull you over and shoot you. Pray for the best. Some of us, we will live and act like none of this is going on because it doesn't affect you, because it's never came to your front door, because you've never had to bury a family member that was killed by police. But I guarantee you, out of 30 black men that I grew up with or went to school with, out of 30 of them, I can guarantee that all of them have seen racism. Out of 30 of them, I can guarantee that 29 of them have been stopped by the police and treated like shit. I can guarantee out of 30 that have a child, they worry about not only them getting shot by, just something that happens, whatever, They worry about the police doing something to their children. I watched a video where a school police officer took a 14-year-old that was in a fight, snatched her up, slammed her on the ground. She was, when he slammed her, unconscious, just laying there. He was still on her back, putting her in handcuffs. Police chief did announcement. He stood up for the officer. He did the right thing. Blah, blah, blah. who I feel, and the chief police said he felt sorry for the officer for the abuse that he had to deal with from the people that was dogging him out for what he did. In the grand scheme of things, my master plan, if you as a black person are unhappy, I would say leave the country. We've always been told to go back home. But until then, you can wait till your next black man gets shot and killed by the police, because it's not going to stop. I guarantee you, it's not going to stop. It hasn't stopped since I was born. It was going on when my grandmother came in this world and she died. All they did was exchange the rope for guns. By the way, I did this video at home and not at work, because it's a time and a place for everything. Well, that's my rant for today. I'm at 46 minutes. Very few people will watch it to the end, but